I know you guys might be asking, what are the best pets in the game? Well, I'll give you a short little list. The Terraclaw Hatchling, Wicked Soul, Fiendish Imp, and the Bone Serpent. Of those 4 pets, only the Terraclaw could be considered a good starter pet, since the other 3 are only OP in PvP pet battles. PvE stuff, which you're going to be doing a lot of when you first start out, requires pets to be more versatile. So this list will go over the best starter pets, and not necessarily the best PvP pets. At number 10 we've got Grumpy. Grumpy is going to be amazing for catching pets, since he's one of the few pets in the game with the Super Bite ability. An ability that hits hard, but cannot kill a pet, so it allows you to easily weaken wild pets to catch them easier, without worrying about accidentally killing them. And combined with Howl to double Super Bite damage, it should be able to knock down pets of just about any level to 1 health with those 2 moves used back to back. There are other pets with pet catching abilities like Super Bark, but Grumpy is the best one, and is easy to get. All you have to do is quest through Valshara, and you get it pretty early on in that one place that looks like Gilneas when you save the dog from the burning building. At number 9 we've got Rabbits. More specifically, the SS Rabbits, as really fast rabbits can dodge abilities with its dodge ability and burrow. Now, I'll be mentioning breeds a lot in this video, but you can't actually see breeds in game without an add-on. So download the add-on in the video description and know that SS breed just stands for speed, which is short for the fastest one. Rabbits are also pretty easy to get, if not one of the easiest pets to get, as you can just catch them all out in the wild, and they all pretty much have the same moveset. Plus, rabbits are good PvP pets as well. At number 8 we've got the MPD, or the Lifelike Mechanical Boar. These are 2 separate pets. The Mechanical Pandaren Dragonling is a top tier PvP pet, who's also super useful in PvE, as it perfectly counters magic type pets, has a good fast breed, and can use the overpowered decoy ability, which just straight up blocks 2 attacks for you. The Lifelike Mechanical Boar is just as useful, and is a super good counter to beast type pets. Just like the MPD, the Boar has the decoy ability, but the Boar also has a few different breeds available to him. The powerful power type breed, which I recommend, and the speedy SS breed, which I also recommend, so you don't really need to worry about its breed too much. It's good no matter what with its decoy and just being able to attack and heal a little. Both pets are made with engineering and can be bought off the auction house for pretty cheap. Number 7, Ikky. Ikky can solo pet battle dungeons on normal mode by himself. It can also kill pretty much anything else out in the world in Legion pet battle world quests. Ikky has the Black Claw ability, which increases the damage of all attacks by about 130 or so for 3 turns. Now, Black Claw on its own doesn't really do much, but if you combine it with a dot or a multi-hit ability, it will increase its damage by a ton. Ikky just happens to have an ability called Flock as well, an ability that locks you into the move for 3 turns, but will hit 3 times a turn for a little bit of damage each time, and put a debuff on the enemy pet to double all damage done for 2 rounds. If you combine this double damage effect with Black Claw and the ability itself just hitting 3 times in a row, you've got yourself an insane amount of damage. The combo is just simply apply Black Claw and then use Flock, and watch as you kill just about anything, as long as they don't kill you first too quickly. Plus, with Ikky being a flying type, it should almost always go first and be able to pull off the combo pretty easily. And Ikky just also happens to have a high attack power stat to add even further to its insane damage. And Ikky is easy to get. You just do a small quest chain in the Spires of Iraq to get one, or just buy a cheap one off the auction house. Number 7, the Zandalari Raptors. Now, there are so many different types of Zandalari Raptors that I just kind of lump them all together since they all have the same set of skills that make them super good in PvE. The Raptors can use the Black Claw Hunting Party combo. Now, remember Black Claw from Ikky in the previous item? Well, these Raptors can also use the OP debuff, but they also have a better Flock ability called Hunting Party. Hunting Party basically does the exact same thing as Flock, put up a double damage debuff and hit 3 times, but it also just straight up does more damage. There is no other pet who can do more damage in a shorter amount of turns than a Black Claw Hunting Party combo. To a single pet, I might want to add. But if this combo is so good, why even use Ikky? Well, because the Raptors are super fragile. Even more so than Ikky, so they die fast. Plus, Ikky has his flying racial, which means he's a little bit more versatile, since you can count on him going first about 90% of the time. But Raptors have so many different types of breeds that you can get a super fast Raptor as well, if you get the SS breed. Or you can get a super strong one, if you get the power breed. It's just with Ikky, you get both speed and power, which doesn't make him better, just more versatile. Plus, all the Raptors are beast type, and sometimes you just have to use a different type of pet against certain PvE things. So really, the reason Raptors are a little higher on the list than Ikky is because Raptors can do more damage potentially, and have so many different breeds you can just level up an army of them eventually, and just have a different breed for each occasion. And Raptors are super easy to get. They drop like candy from the dinos on the Isle of Giants, so you can pick them up for super cheap on the auction house. Number 5, the Unborn Valk, Ghastly Kid, or Wicked Soul. All 3 of these pets are on the list for one reason, their Haunt ability. Haunt is the most powerful dot in pet battles, and arguably the best ability in the game. What it does is count the user as dead and put out a dot on the target for 4 rounds that does a ton of damage. Now, being counted as dead isn't actually a bad thing, because this in actuality gives you a free switch into the backline pets. Usually, moves that swap you out with the backline pet have heavy cost or cooldowns associated to them. But Haunt just gets that effect for free, with a super powerful dot attached to it. If you're fighting a boss pet, using Haunt and then swapping into a Raptor or Ikky can kill just about anything, as the dot combos super well with Black Claw and the double damage debuff. Now, of the 3 pets that can use Haunt, Unborn Valk can simply be caught out in the wild in Northrend as a rare spawn. The Ghastly Kid can be obtained randomly from bags in your garrison, and drops pretty commonly, so it's also pretty cheap on the auction house. And the Wicked Soul has a rare chance to drop from the Lich King on Heroic mode, and is by far the hardest to get of the 3. But also its SS breed is one of the top tier pets I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Number 4, the Anubis Sath Idol. I don't really like this pet, but I have to admit it is a great starter pet because it can take on pretty much all of the pet tamers in the world and do well. If you don't mind the fight taking forever, that is. The idol has like an amalgamation of things going well for it that allow it to both put out decent damage while also taking reduced damage and having the option to dodge any big attack. You have to use him smartly, and it takes a while, but he is incredibly useful. He's also a top tier pet in PvP, which is just an added bonus, and isn't hard to get, as he drops an AQ 40 pretty regularly. You can pick one up on the auction house for cheap too. Number 3, the Emperor Crab. Now, just like the idol, the Emperor Crab can both put out high damage while also taking reduced damage and having a nice healing option. The breed you want of the crab is the power type, which also has one of the higher attack power values in the game. And since heals in pet battles scale based on your attack power, his heal will heal for a ton. His shell armor ability can reduce damage by up to 95, which is about a third the damage of normal attacks. while also having 2 good basic attack options. Honestly, not as versatile as the idol who can dodge attacks, but if you don't need to dodge attacks, the crab does more damage, healing, and has better damage reduction, and is almost unbeatable in PvP if you don't have a direct counter to it. And to top it all off, you can get it super easily in the wild, as it's just a wild caught pet in the Dread Wastes that's not even rare. It's a commonly spawned pet. Number 2, the Stormborn Whelpling. Honestly, I'd much rather put the Nexus Whelpling at this spot since it is better, but ever since Legion, the spawn points for the Nexus one have become super rare, when before it used to be a common spawn, making it way harder to get, and the Stormborn Whelpling is a much easier to get pet who can do the same thing as a Nexus Whelpling. Now, the reason the Stormborn Whelpling is so high on the list is because of its Arcane Storm Mana Surge combo. Arcane Storm is a weather effect that does AoE damage, and Mana Surge is just a super hard-hitting ability that locks you into the move for 3 turns and does like 75% more damage if the weather's arcane winds. This combo, combined with the Dragonkin Racial, can take out wild pet teams incredibly fast. And this fast part is key, because when you're leveling up for the first time, you're going to be grinding a lot of random pets to level up your first few pets. And the Stormborn Hatchling will make that process so much easier, just because of how quickly it can take out a whole team of pets. But that's not all. Whenever I encounter a new tamer or boss type pet, my go-to team is a team full of Nexus and Stormborn Whelplings, because the Nexus Whelps have the same exact combo, only with a higher attack power option available to them, and this team of Whelplings spamming Mana Surge with Arcane Winds out can usually take out just about anything, and if not, I get to see the strategy I need to do. A full team of Whelplings can also take out like 90% of the tamers and pets in the garrison. It's just super fast, because the animations are over quickly, and when you're locked into a move like Mana Surge, the game just goes faster since you don't have to put in manual inputs or choose anything for 3 turns, which just saves a lot of real time per pet battle. Alright, and number 1, the Nether Faerie Dragon. One of the most efficient ways to level your pets is to do the Mist of Pandaria daily Tamer circuit, which is just a rotation of fighting all the Tamers in Pandaria. 1 in each zone plus 4 elementals who use teams of legendary pets. And in the teams I use on those Tamers, the Faerie Dragon is in more than half of them. The Nether Faerie Dragon is the epitome of versatile, and it's all because of its life exchange ability. This ability will equalize the health between the dragon and the enemy pet. So for example, say you use the dragon to fight pet number 1 and you manage to bring it down with your Moonfire and Arcane Blast combo. But now you're at super low health and a new pet comes in at full health. You use Life Exchange and poof, you've now just done about half the pet's health and damage and healed up to about 50% health yourself. In one move, you heal up for a ton and do a ton of damage. Plus, with Arcane Blast, his basic attack option, which does more damage the more you use it up to 3 times, should be fully ramped up and doing its max damage at that point. So you can just burn down the enemy pet in 2 turns. Then do a little bit more damage to the 3rd pet before finally kicking the bucket. The Nether Faerie Dragon can easily take down 2 pets on its own, and even sometimes get a few good hits in on the 3rd pet before finally going down. And that's what makes it so incredibly useful, as it allows you more freedom in your 2nd support pet, and of course, your carry pet who you're trying to level up. I've also had the Nether Faerie Dragon sometimes solo the entire enemy Tamers team, which is nuts because Tamer pets are just straight up better than normal pets. He is probably the most useful pet for fighting Tamers, and I highly recommend leveling one as your first pet. Or maybe the Stormborn Whelpling. And that's it for the best pets to level first video. Do you guys have any good suggestions on pets that should be leveled first? I can always make a follow-up video if I missed anything important. Also, all the add-ons I use will be in the video description.